Let's take a look at our next freestyle drill, and we're going to look at a drill called Body Positioning Kick Switch. We really like this drill because it really kind of helps athletes teach the amount of rotation that we would like to kind of have them have as they're progressing. So in an earlier version of this drill, we look at 6 kicks, which is a little bit slower, a little bit longer rotation. The kick here is going to speed things up a little bit and make things be just a little bit faster and move a little bit more with the natural kind of progression of the stroke and the speed of the stroke. So let's go over some of the things that we look for with this drill. Here we're going to be using 2 pieces of equipment. We're going to be using a snorkel and we're going to be using fins as we're performing the drill. Both arms here are going to be along the side just so that the athlete can really focus on rotation with a relatively good strong kick behind us so that the stroke again kind of feels like it naturally would when they're swimming. What we want to see here is some turbulence created at the surface with our kick, and we want to make sure that we are always looking for that. We call this thunder kick, boiling water, or white water. It all means the same thing. Feet here where we would look for to be pointed, which we see because of the fins, and we see that then on this foot right there. When we're evaluating the kick, it's really important to make sure that we look for what we would say is a natural bend in the knee. We don't want anything excessive one way or the other, so we're not going to look for the legs to come this high out of the water and then to have to return. Otherwise, we're going to be kicking air and not really moving through the water very well. Same thing here. If we're bringing the knees into the body, we're going to have a really hard time then to bring them up to the surface. So as long as they're staying at the surface, and then when they're kicking down, so right here, that left foot, how that's kicking down right there, what we would want to see is then that athlete is kicking down and in front of them a little bit when they're performing the kick, so that way they get some good strong power out of that, returning the foot up to the surface. Usually when we do this, we see a really good strong connection to the hip with the kick as we're going through the water, meaning we're going to be really utilizing the hamstring and quadricep muscles when we're performing this kick. Then what we look for is just hips and shoulders are going to be even through the rotation. And we kind of want to think about just popping out of the water. So what we'll see is as that shoulder rotates up right here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rotate then to the other side. Checking the other side, hips and shoulders here are popped. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rotate. So here we've got just this good level of rotation, and we just want to kind of keep that rotation nice, easy, so that everything flows through the water very well. Our athlete can concentrate on keeping that head steady and just looking forward as we're moving then through the water. And our athlete's doing a good job there. Okay, on our underwater view, it's going to be really difficult just to kind of see because we've got all this turbulence created here with our bubbles from our takeoff view, but we kind of just saw some of those checks when we looked at our takeoff view. On our return view here, we're just going to look for those same items. Here are the feet. Again, we want to make sure that we're seeing turbulence created here at the surface. Good check right there. And then we're just going to look for that rotation. Now here, we're rotating up very, very, very high. So we're kind of on our side. So this is a very pop position, what we would call. We just want to be popped. So if we kind of see where we are about right here, see how those shoulders are just coming out of the water, that's where we would want to be. So just kind of popped up as we're moving through the water. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and then here, a lot better on this side. So this is a little bit more we would look for from just a pop position. And then we come back up a little bit. So just remember just to kind of watch for that and give our athletes feedback for those items that we just want to kind of only be in a pop position, not necessarily very, very, very popped. And then on our takeoff, just so you guys can kind of see the level of rotation that we would have as we're traveling through the water. So here we kind of see the shoulders becoming very, very, very down. So a little less here would go actually a long, long way. Overall, if you found some great value out of this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.